Chapter House. Jacob says please state your name for our records. Option 1 of 3 Andreas Mahler, journeyman artist from Nuremberg. Option 2 of 3 Andreas, son of Joseph Mahler, master artist from Nuremberg. Option 3 of 3 Andreas Mahler, artist, recently of Basel. Jacob says really? What brought you all the way to Upper Bavaria? Option 1 of 3 I am heading back to Nuremberg to finish my apprenticeship and open a workshop. It's the end of my wander jar. Option 2 of 3 I go where the work takes me, your reverence. Option 3 of 3 it was just on the way back to Nuremberg, your reverence. Option 1 of 3 I am heading back to Nuremberg to finish my apprenticeship and open a workshop. It's the end of my wander jar. Jacob says very well. Thank you. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Arnold says of course, your reverence. Jacob says now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel? Option 1 of 2 I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Option 2 of 2 incidental acquaintances, nothing more. Option 1 of 2 I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Jacob says do you feel you had a sense of him as a person? Option 1 of 2 why yes, your reverence. Option 2 of 2 no, your reverence. Option 1 of 2 why yes, your reverence. Jacob says how would you characterize him? Option 1 of 3 a fine man, a lover of art and knowledge. Option 2 of 3 confident, overbearing, used to getting what he wants. Option 3 of 3 a nobleman, for all of the good and ill that goes along with that title. Option 1 of 3 a fine man, a lover of art and knowledge. Jacob says that was the opinion of Father Gernot and the Lady Salomia as well. Do you believe everyone regarded him with the same warmth? Option 1 of 2 why yes. Why wouldn't they? Option 2 of 2 no, your reverence. It's clear that some locals had little love for the Baron. Jacob says as unfortunate as that is, such knowledge may be a boon to us at this moment. The Baron Rothvogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gernot believes it was one of his monks, Brother Pierrot. I have met with Brother Pierrot and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagranti delicto. Option 1 of 2 say nothing. Option 2 of 2 he wasn't, though. The Baron was already dead. Jacob says stop talking. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Pierrot, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Pierrot had reasons to resent the Baron. The loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg, and as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds. What I am saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Pierrot is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Pierrot. You also interacted with the Baron both in the town and the abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? Option 1 of 5 Lucky Steinauer argued with the Baron. Option 2 of 5 any of the nuns, Sister Matilda, may have wished revenge on the Baron. Option 3 of 5 a widow in Tassing, Ottilia Kemperin, hated the Baron. Option 4 of 5 The Abbey's prior, Ferenc, was behaving suspiciously the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. Option 5 of 5 a local thief, Martin Bauer. Option 1 of 5 Lucky Steinauer argued with the Baron. Jacob says who is lucky? Steinauer? I don't believe his name has come up during our questioning. Player says the town stonemason. Jacob says all right. What's the connection between the town stonemason and a nobleman from Worms? Player says I and at least 3 farmers in the village saw Lucky arguing with the Baron when he came to town. Jacob says about what? Player says I don't know, but the argument was heated. Hetty and Veronica Bauerin witnessed it. Jacob says you mentioned a third witness. Player says yes, Martin Bauer. Unfortunately, Jacob says yes, the boy fled. Still, we will question the women about what they saw. And how do you propose that this stonemason killed the Baron? Option 1 of 2, he is quite strong. Option 2 of 2, as a stonemason, Lucky would have access to any number of tools that he could use to bludgeon the Baron. Jacob says, have you found such a tool? Option 1 of 2, I have not. Option 2 of 2, no, but that does not mean it does not exist, and as they are Lucky's tools, only he would know if one went missing. Jacob says, a fair point, Master Mailer, but the fact remains it has yet to be found. Player says true. In any case, that is the extent of my knowledge about Lucky Steinauer, Your Reverence. Jacob says, is there anyone else you can think of who may have wanted to harm the Baron? Option 1 of 5, any of the nuns, Sister Matilda, may have wished revenge on the Baron. Option 2 of 5, a widow in Tassing, Odelia Kemperin, hated the Baron. Option 3 of 5, The Abbey's prior, Ferenc, was behaving suspiciously the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. Option 4 of 5, a local thief, Martin Bauer. Option 5 of 5, I can think of no one else who could have cause to harm the Baron, Your Reverence. Jacob says, very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Player says, has Brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Jacob says, yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Idlejager has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the implications. Who is the innocent? Player says, it's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Jacob says, do you believe the murderer wrote it? Player says, whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. Jacob says, I understand Kearsaw has two, the elderly brother Edok and the younger brother Guy. Player says, to be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it, too. The style is just different. It's unlike Edok and Guy's writing. Unlike mine. Jacob says, yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems it will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. Option 1 of 2, unfortunately, there is more to tell. I found more notes. Option 2 of 2, of course, Your Reverence. Option 1 of 2, unfortunately, there is more to tell. I found more notes. Player says, notes written in the same hand, on the same type of parchment, to those who had a motive to kill the Baron. Jacob says, that is deeply troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Player says, of course, Your Reverence. Jacob says, until next time. Option 1 of 2, until then. Option 2 of 2, hopefully there won't be a next time. No offense. Option 1 of 2, until then. Peter says, Andreas. I didn't think you were coming to this. Option 1 of 3, I didn't think I was, either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends after all. Option 2 of 3, well, here I am. Option 3 of 3, why? I didn't want to miss this. Option 1 of 3, I didn't think I was, either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends after all. Clara says, can you believe that Lucky Steinauer killed that nobleman? Big Jurg says, you missed the trial, Andreas. A magistrate from Mittenwald came in, read all of the charges, and found him guilty. Option 1 of 4, Lucky? Well, he has a temper, doesn't he? Option 2 of 4, no, I can't believe it. This doesn't seem right. Option 3 of 4, well, whether we believe it or not, the magistrate was convinced. Option 4 of 4, this isn't what I told the archdeacon at all. Option 1 of 4, Lucky? Well, he has a temper, doesn't he? Peter says, well, a little. What man doesn't? He's thrown a few punches, but I never thought he'd kill someone. Eva says, oh, here comes the procession. Otto says, did I miss anything? Eva says, no, you're fine. Otto says Andreas. Option 1 of 2 OTTO. Option 2 of 2 not. Option 1 of 2 OTTO. Matthew says Agnes Dei, qui talus peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnes Dei, qui talus peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnes Dei, qui talus peccata mundi, dona nobis pacem. Old Otto says, Lenhart says see, Otto says it should, Peter says shut your mouth, Arnold says silence. Silence. I order the executioner to carry out his duty. I warrant him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him. Lucky says Lord, into your hands I commit my spirit. Option 1 of 2 watch. Option 2 of 2 look away. Option 1 of 2 watch. Richard says my Lord Judge, have I executed well? Arnold says you have executed as judgment and law have required. Richard says for that I thank God and my master who has taught me such art. Agnes says you. I know this is your doing. Option 1 of 2 I don't know what you are talking about. Option 2 of 2 Why your husband is the one who did the deed. Why are you angry at me? Option 1 of 2 I don't know what you are talking about. Agnes says save your lies. I don't want to hear them. You should be ashamed of yourself. Option 1 of 3 say nothing. Option 2 of 3 are you done? I'm leaving. Option 3 of 3 I am sorry, Agnes. Agnes says God have mercy on you, Andreas Mailer. Pierrot says Andreas. Has the time come for you to leave us? Option 1 of 2 I am afraid so, brother Pierrot. Option 2 of 2 why yes, and none too soon. Option 1 of 2 I am afraid so, brother Pierrot. Pierrot says this is a sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kiersa does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son. Option 1 of 2 as I will you. Option 2 of 2 who will keep you out of trouble when I'm gone. Pierrot says I pray that is the last trouble I will see in my old age. And I have God and you to thank for getting me out of it. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go? Option 1 of 2 please. I value your assessment. Option 2 of 2 I suppose. It's not everything I hoped for. Option 1 of 2 please. I value your assessment. Pierrot says the opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I am excited to see it finished at last. Pierrot says it is a masterpiece, truly worthy of the word. And it appears you took my advice to heart. Player says what advice was that? Pierrot says to put yourself into the work. Not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transform it into something true. This shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it is not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas. Player says what's this? Pierrot says a scrap of parchment. Pierrot says do not return here. A warning. Pierrot says whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Edoc's or Brother Guy's. Option 1 of 2 Brother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. Option 2 of 2 it's strange, but nothing to be concerned over. Option 1 of 2 Brother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. Option 1 of 2 and I found more notes delivered to others while I was investigating. Option 2 of 2 Someone was trying to manipulate him into going to the chapter house in the middle of the night. Option 1 of 2 and I found more notes delivered to others while I was investigating. Player says they must have been written by someone who knew the darkest secrets of the town and this abbey. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron, like someone pulling at threads that had been buried in the past. Pierrot says a frightening thought. But who would do such a thing? Option 1 of 2 I wish I knew. Option 2 of 2 God knows. Option 1 of 2 I wish I knew. Pierrot says do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. Option 1 of 2 I'll come as often as I can. Option 2 of 2 I am sure we'll see each other again. Option 1 of 2 I'll come as often as I can. Pierrot says I would like that. God bless you, Andreas Mailer. Option 1 of 3 Thank for your friendship. Until next time. Option 2 of 3 Thank for your guidance. Until later. Option 3 of 3 God bless you, Brother Pierrot. Option 1 of 3 Thank for your friendship. Until next time.